Konnichiwa, everybody. This is Third Eye Ryoichi here, and today it's another episode of the Thunder Special. But this time, it's the next day, right after we got done with Martinsville. We dominated that race, but we're going back to Martinsville to run the Camping World Truck Series race. That's right. So, you guys have seen us race in the Xfinity Series, and you've seen us race in the Cup Series. But now we're going to do the Craftsman Truck Series, which is now known as the Camping World Truck Series. That's right, everybody. Take a look at this. So they actually have been racing trucks since the year 1995, when it was called the NASCAR Super Truck Series. And then Craftsman got a really neat deal with Craftsman, and it was the Craftsman Truck Series right up until 2009. And there's been a bunch of different drivers that have come from here, like the late great Bobby Hamilton. He was a great Truck Series racer in his time before he died a few years ago. And then of course Hall of Famer Ron Hornaday, who has won many different championships in this Truck Series. Now some of the teams that are in this game are basically people, you know, of the time, like, you know, Deborah Renshaw. She doesn't do anything like that anymore. Shiggy Hattori, I think he's now doing some owning and stuff like that. There's Terry Cook, who's no longer in the series. Chase Montgomery. And we also have a bunch of other drivers too. But unfortunately, this is going to be pretty interesting because unfortunately there's only a handful of like real life drivers, and the rest are going to be filled with custom made drivers, including us. So here is our truck that we're going to be using for the race itself. We're driving this number 71 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, and if you've been around the sport long enough, you may remember that last year at Martinsville, Chase Elliott drove a similar paint scheme to this at Martinsville to get some more experience. So you guys know exactly where we're going. We're going back to Martinsville. This one is going to be for the Kroger250. So I will see you guys at the racetrack momentarily.
Jeff Gordon, number 24, DuPont Chevrolet.
Jeff Gordon scores his 71st career win and his 6th at Martinsville.
Tony Stewart, Joe Gibbs Racing, number 20.
Big Orange, Tony Stewart gets the win.
Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where we start in this race because I decided not to qualify. Because one thing I noticed about the Cup Series race that we did was that when we started up at the front, we pretty much ran away with the race. So what I did was that I decided not to qualify for the race. And basically what happens is that the game will start you like mid-pack. So I think we're going to start way back in 20th. This is a 62-lap race, and we may have to use a little bit of the chrome horn in order to pass a couple cars. But why don't we go ahead and get started and see how well we do. So, pace truck is in, and the green flag is out. We're back in 17th spot, and we're up here on the high side, which means we do not have the preferred line around here. Ooh, somebody already getting into us quite a bit. That's Ron Hornaday in front of us, and we gave him the bump. Whoops! Well, that's what happens when you're racing here at Martinsville. And yeah, these truck races can get a little bit on the wild side. So let's see if we can continue our way through the field here. The leader of the race right now is Brandon Witt in truck number 38. That's Ricky Craven in front of us. Craven went on to do some stuff for ESPN Radio after his stint in the Truck Series was done. Wow. I don't know why these guys are like trying to brake hard. It's really, really painful. There's Bill Lester in front of us, and we gave him a little contact there. But now we moved up into the top 10, so we're slowly moving up the pack here in our Napa Chevrolet. Which, by the way, Napa has stepped up its game, and they're going to be sponsoring us for some more Xfinity Series and some more Truck Series races. Which we're not going to be racing too many races in the Truck Series. I know we are going to race the truck race at Talladega later in the year, and probably one of the other races, but I don't know at this point if we're going to race any more than maybe 3 or 4. It really depends on what you guys want to see. If you guys want to see us race a couple of more Truck Series races, then let me know in the video description, in the comment box below. Yeah, they are, because I can't get around these guys. So now we're going underneath Deborah Renshaw. I actually kind of missed that number 8 truck, the way that it had the number like that. Oops, we're really tight right now. Man, everybody is just getting all loose, including this 170 truck, I guess. I don't even know if that's a 170 or what. It's hard to tell with some of these things. Yep, 178, I thought so. And now, I know that's Chad Chaffin in front of us. We currently are about 2.2 seconds behind the leader right now, because it seems everybody loves to just stop short. Okay, we can't go the high side because we saw that that didn't work in the Truck Series. I mean, in the Cup Series race. Well, I'm starting to get a little ticked off because we can't even make any moves. So we'll just see if we can outdrag him going down in this corner, and we gave him a little bump out of the way. So now we have some clear track in front of us. Let's see if we can chase down the 38 truck. Alright, so we're about... Wow, he said, I think he said 3 seconds, but we're like 2 seconds behind the leader. And the truck is currently really, really loose. It's really loose, and I have no forward bites. So right now, this truck is not... It's not a winning truck right now. So we continue to race here in the top 5. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you more live action from the Kroger250 here at Martinsville Speedway. Welcome back, everybody, to the Kroger250 here on the Cooper Clan Incorporated YouTube channel, and as you can see, we have made our way to second place. We are also getting closer to pit stops, and there is the leader right there in front of us. That's Brandon Witt, who you saw got a little bit loose. You can see that we're catching up to him pretty well, but we're going to make a big swing at this truck as we give him the bump and run, and we take over the race lead. Alright, so now we're in the race lead, but can we keep it? But basically, we're going to take a big swing at this truck when it comes to pit road, because one thing that we're going to do is that we're going to take out a lot of air pressure and see if we can basically get some of that forward bite back as we hit the wall a little bit. And now Brandon Witt tries to get past us. There he goes. He's past us, and that was Chad Chaffin that was also trying to get past us too. Got to keep an eye out and see what happens here. We may have, but I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, it's another packed house here. It looks like everybody came back to see the Camping World Truck Series race. Do you see how loose Brandon Witt is going right now? I mean, I mean, it looks like everybody's truck is not handling very well. I know that mine isn't, even though we're all the way up here. And we moved up from, like, 17th and everything. Man, I really thought that he was going to come to pit road. And yes, we are doing shifting here as well. Whoa, man, Chad Chaffin is just hell bent on trying to get past us, but now he's kind of screwed himself a little bit. We're keeping an eye on the front there. Right now, I'm not letting Brandon Witt out of my sight, because I'm gonna stay behind him right now, because with pit stops, we don't really need to push him too much for the win per se at this juncture. Because you know what, too, once we get the truck a little bit tighter and looser at the same time, then we can easily run away from the pack. Gave him a little bump there. Now that was not a bump and run, that was more like a hey, how are ya? It's like, hey, I'm right here, and I can pounce at any time. But right now, this Napa Chevy is not too bad at this juncture. But now we're getting down. To low fuel. So I think we're going to come in within the next 5 laps at least. Whoa, we got loose. Ooh, easy does it. Look at that, Chad Chaffin has now caught back up to our rear bumper. Now we also need to be careful, because the AI, like I've mentioned, AI will give us some problems here on the short track. Now our next truck race that we will be in, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait. We'll have to see like where we want to go with this. Alright, looks like we're about in the red in terms of fuel as we go over the informative best line. Which actually that's that line down there, that green line that'll go to red and yellow. Basically, I use that to kind of like get around the racetrack. But also that sort of gives you guys an idea of like where you can run on the racetrack. Okay, I see a couple of cars have just made their way to pit road. So I think we're going to be okay, but I need to stretch the fuel out a little bit more. So I'm going to do this. As you can see, we're already lapping a few trucks. I'm going to stay out here one extra lap. Because just in case we get a green-white checker, we're going to be okay. So this lap I'm going to come in. This lap I'm going to bring my truck in. So here we go. I'm bringing it in. Slow it down, slow it down. There we go. Okay, so you can see that we are going to lower the tire pressure big time. And I'm going to go ahead and actually add a little bit of wedge to it. So now we're at the halfway point. So as you can see, there's a couple of trucks on pit road. So now at this juncture, we need to hope that there is no yellow flag at this point. So now our crew goes around and services the Napa Chevrolet. Which, by the way, you'll notice that the manufacturers were not implemented into the truck series, unfortunately, and that would also be the same way for some of the other games. Now, where does this put us? I don't know. Let's see as we come out. So we're back in 20th, one lap down, but here comes some more trucks to pit road, so we're going to be okay, and now we should have a decent truck for the finish. So we got to be careful. Ooh, we're on the high side there. I do not want to hit Ron Hornaday. Okay, Ron Hornaday wisely backed out of the gas to let us go by. So now there's another truck up there. I don't know if he came to pit road yet or not. Alright, so now we should... Oh, and a yellow flag comes out! Uh-oh. Did this trap us a lap down? Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Unfortunately, you're not going to see what happened there, but basically the 103 truck spun out and collected a bunch of other trucks, but the audio got screwed up and so did the footage. So unfortunately, we are trapped one lap down. So we're back in 10th, one lap off the pace. So that means what we have to do is that we have to get ourselves back on the lead lap the best we can. But unfortunately, because the majority of us are kind of in a bad position as a truck goes up in the wall, yellow is out, I don't think we're going to have anything. Alright, let's try this again. We are now the first truck one lap down, so that means if we get a quickie yellow, we put ourselves back on the lead lap. Oof. Kinda got a little tight there and hit the leader, but at this juncture, right now all we can do is just simply ride around here unless another yellow comes out.
1989. We're catching up to the leader. Keep on it. 20 more.
But I think that yellow flag has definitely screwed us. So right now, we're sitting in the 9th position, and pretty much we're on the tail end of the lead lap. So we're gonna have to hope for a yellow. But at least now we have a decent truck. So essentially, this will be a test. Now this has kind of turned into a test session if we don't get a yellow flag. For when we come back here in the fall, because I actually think I am going to race the truck race again here at Martinsville. I don't know. It all depends on what happens, but yeah. I think, you know, that's the problem, because we got trapped one lap down, and it was not cool at all. So
1894. You're closing on the leader.
now we will be catching up to the tail end of the field. There is a good chance that we don't even need a yellow flag, but you know what? If this track were Bristol, then I would say that we would still have a shot to win, because we could easily catch these cars. But because there's barely room to pass here, there's almost no chance of us getting back in this unless we get that yellow. And knowing this game, we're probably not going to get it. We'll have to see. So right now we have a big enough lead on the leader right now that we're going to be okay, and we're starting to catch the back of the field too.
We're catching them, buddy. Stay with it. Lap 50.
Alright, we're getting down to just 10 laps of racing to go. Which next time around will be 10 laps to go for us.
Fuel tank ought to be about half empty.
Yeah, not really too concerned about fuel, because what I should have done is that if we had known that the yellow was going to come out, I would have actually stayed out there, and then I would have been just back in the pack back here, just battling for positions. But hey, at least we're up in the 9th position. So we'll get a top 10 out of this, probably. Now we just gotta maneuver through these trucks.
Gaining on the leader. 10, buddy.
Easy does it. Easy.
Number 137 is moving up on you.
Oop, come on. Careful.
121.
Yes, that does say knee-high septic service. There's a lot of made-up sponsorships in this game. There's Kevin Harvick over there in the number 92 truck. Not sure what position he's running in. We bumped into Terry Cook a little bit. This should be good.
46. We're running strong. Let's work our way to the front. Watch that right front. Clear, all clear. Car high. Okay, we're clear. 1922. Dig, buddy, dig. Going inside.
There's the Good Buddy Hubcaps car. Actually, it's Good Buddy CB Radio, I should say. And we did kind of give him a little bump there, but now we're starting to pass these cars, but they're all not for position, unfortunately.
1961. We're catching up to the leader. Keep on it. The 152 car is outside.
In fact, I can't even tell who's going to be the winner of this race, quite frankly.
Body that left front tire. Need some action. Clear, clear. All clear. 19-4. Keep coming. We're getting there. 5 laps to
Ooh,
go.
careful! We don't want to take ourselves out of this right now. But yep, it looks like that. But it looks like we're not going to get that yellow flag. In fact, I think it's pretty much too late for that. At this junction.
1954. That field gets to the front. Keep it up. Outside. Got one outside. Protect the needle. Should be running pretty
Ooh
close
boy.
there. Still hanging on. There you go. All clear. 1912.
3 laps to go. Ooh, almost got collected there. Gotta watch out for the home run generator's car. Or truck. Alright, we can go low and give him a little bump and get him out of the way. Now we got 2 laps of racing to go for us. Meanwhile, the leader is taking the white flag. I think if we had a few more laps, I think we probably would have been okay, but unfortunately, it wasn't going to be.
119 has a good run. He's coming high. Clear. 19.
So now we're on the white flag lap. 1 more lap of racing to go.
1 lap to go. The one
Whoa, careful. Alright, so whoever won the race took home the checkered flag. We come off of turn number 3 and 4 and take home a 9th spot.
That's a top 10 finish. Top 10
So top 10, not bad. Alright, so one of the AI cars took home the win. So that was a pretty interesting race. We came back home in the 9th position. But hey, now we're done with Martinsville and it's on to the next race. So, excuse me. If you guys enjoyed this truck series race, make sure you leave a like and a comment and a subscription. And until next time, everybody, it's Third Eye Ryoichi. Till we meet again.